We are criticized, interestingly, by some folks on the right who want the pace of deportations to be higher. And I certainly understand that, frankly, and share that frustration. The counter argument is the courts are trying to stop us at every step of the way. And until about a month ago, we didn't have the resources for ICE to actually get this massive invasion that Joe Biden led into our country. We didn't have the resources necessary to actually process a lot of those people. That has changed because of the big, beautiful bill. We've also gotten some court case wins, so I expect that the pace of deportations will increase a little bit. But importantly, when people criticize us and they say, sometimes I'll hear this criticism, well, the pace of deportations from the Trump administration is actually lower than it was in the Biden administration. And that's actually a completely fake statistic. It's based on the fact that if you come into the country illegally and then the Biden administration processes you and sends you out, that counts as a deportation. It counts as an illegal immigration, and then it counts as deportation. So you have to look at the net number, right? If you do +1, -1, I'm not a math expert, but I'm pretty sure that's 0. The net number is what really matters. And where the Trump administration, where we've been most wildly successful, is that we have, I think in 2025, we will have the first net negative immigration number in about 50 or 60 years in the United States. And so there has been a major shift in immigration policy. What the president has said is, number one, we're not going to do amnesty in this country. We're actually not going to tell people who have come into the country illegally that they're allowed to break our laws and be rewarded for it. We're just not going to do that. But there are a whole host of other ways when we talk to agricultural industries and others where they say, well, we really need labor. Well, there are a whole host of ways in which you can try to solve those problems. My favorite solution for those problems is automation, right? I actually think there's a lot of evidence that the American agricultural economy is a little behind the 8 ball when it comes to using technology. There are ways where we're talking about facilitating the use of automation. So we're not going to have amnesty, but we also recognize that there are a lot of industries out there we want to thrive. And I think the president's trying to strike the right balance.
With the passage of the Genius legislation last week, I think that we could see several $1 trillion of demand for T-bills because the way the legislation works, it's under 90 days. I think that that's really going to lock in the U.S. dollar in terms of individuals on the street in whether it's Nigeria, Kuala Lumpur, are going to be using U.S.-backed stablecoins. And if I think about the alternative, if you think about a central bank digital currency, China, Euro, or ECB, or even Canada, a lot of you will remember during COVID, the Canadian government, they didn't like what some truckers were doing, and they seized and froze their bank accounts. So with a central bank digital currency, you could put out a mean tweet. Not that any of you would ever done it. But if you put out a mean tweet...
No one up here is known for doing that.
Ever. Yeah. If you have a government backed, then they can shut you down, as opposed to this unbridled choice that consumers are going to have for U.S. dollar stablecoins.